Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another GETI Live Talk session under the Disruptive Education Movement. I'm your host, Preena, and a very happy new year to everyone out here. And today, as a special guest, we have with us Ms. Rakhi Jain for this evening. She is going to talk about on a very interesting topic, that is education and technology. She has done her BCom honors from Delhi University and her postgraduate diploma in public relations in marketing from YMCA Delhi. She has also worked as a senior executive human resource in a well-known brand, IBM Daksh. And currently, she is successfully running two branches of Marvarish Preschool in Ahmedabad. So we welcome you, ma'am, on this platform of Getty, and viewers are all yours.
Thanks, Preena. Mm, My heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Sunita Gandhi for creating this wonderful platform, which I think is an illustration in itself of my topic for the day, education and technology. This is much appreciable. Thank you so much. Let me just share my screen first before beginning the topic. To begin with, I'll start with a quote by a famous educationalist, Mr. David Warlick. We need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand because it is the pen and paper of our time and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world. In few lines, how remarkably Mr. Warlick has explained, that how technology is an important tool of education and definitely it is universally helping children to learn faster and effectively. I will share an experience of mine wherein I was just sowing a bonsai plant in my garden, and my daughter, she was just 8, and she was observing me, and then she said, "Mama, can I suggest you better and effective way of doing this?" I said, "Beta, I do it quite often. What better you have?" And she showed me a YouTube video, and to my surprise, yes, that was way easier way and a better way of doing this. So definitely, the technology is helping children to do things easily, effectively. They're learning it so fast. We have seen massive transformation in the education sector. And it has impacted both the teaching processes and the learning processes. And it has changed the student's life completely, starting from blackboard and chalk to, moving on to whiteboard markers. Then we had, audiovisual aids like transparency slides, which were, introduced. Then moving on to PowerPoint presentations. Now we are with wireless technology. So we have, come out with wonderful technological advancements in our education system. In the last few decades, we have witnessed new achievements in education sector, and it has changed the way students engage with courses and content right from the pre-primary level. I just remember that, when we were children, as in I was child, I remember when I used to, for example, I take a topic of animals, their sounds, their baby sound, habitats. So our learnings were restricted to only our books. We had our books, or probably we had some tin charts, and our learnings were restricted to that. But with the help of these audiovisual aids, nowadays children have, their learning span has increased tremendously. When we show them, we not only show them their habitats and all, they also learn what climate they live in, what are their eating habits. So I'm sure the learning span has increased and they simply enjoy that because they have that experiential learning that they're getting out of it. So, definitely, the education has evolved in a beautiful way. It has made learnings easier. The concepts become very easy for children to learn. If I talk about, 10 years back when the digital learning was introduced, I believe that it was restricted to certain big budget school. But now we can say it is no longer a luxury. Rather, it is an inbuilt part of our education system. And as I said before, it has got its root right from the pre-primary education. Yes, I mean, I have been being an educator, pre-primary educator. I have been observing so many advancement in our education system, right from like we have we use audio visual aids. Like our publishers, they provide CDs with the books, which had certain contents of the book. So definitely the children get the audio visual learnings. Nowadays, even to survive in the era of television and digital technology, even the publishers are coming up with certain applications which are designed to support their books, textbooks. So we have come across few publishers who are designing some augmented reality app which really give children a wonderful experience of learnings. And I have seen there was one publisher who came to us, and he had some books which were again they had an app on their mobile phones, and he showed me it was a scenery, and he kept his mobile phone over it. So the pictures were coming popping up, and 3D effects was there, and the birds were making sound, they were chirping, the ducks were making the sound of quack quack, and he wanted to show this session to our children. And yes, we agreed to it, and when he showed it, the children had wonderful experience. I mean, definitely this is something, the learnings that they get out of it is really appreciable. I mean, they are getting the wonderful learnings out of it. Even these days we see many advertisement of coding classes being popped up on our social media screen. So we see on Facebook, these are basically the block based coding systems which is helping children to learn the tough computer languages. Even I mean, most of the schools have introduced robotics as a subject. So probably if we talk about few, I mean, 10 to 15 years back, or maybe 20 years back, when parents knew that okay, the child has an interest in certain field, they have probably the child is very creative, he has good interest in mechanics, but then parent will say okay, they'll buy a game for the child, and they want him to explore his interest in those games only, because they'll feel that okay, once he'll grow, he'll learn, definitely he'll decide his field. But now, because of the introduction of these subjects in our curriculum, parents have a option. I mean, parents and children both have got the benefit of choosing the subject at a very right age, at a very early age, and they can explore their learnings through that. And I'm sure, I mean, if they are good in that, so they can do wonders in their life in future. So basically, what I mean to say is our traditional classrooms are complemented with new teaching methods. Advancement in technology is steadily progressing, and it will definitely, undoubtedly continue to grow exponentially. Now, we have all seen, from past 1 year, the whole world is witnessing the COVID pandemic. I sometimes try to imagine what would have happened if this pandemic would have hit us 25 years back. What would have happened to our education system? I mean, I'm sure it would have been a complete disaster. The school were closed, There was, I mean, at that time, there was no technology, there was no internet as such. So, what would have happened to our education system? In March, when the government announced the lockdown, everyone, be it educators, parents, everyone thought that probably it's just a matter of few months. But yes, and they thought that probably we'll be back to the normal soon. But gradually we realized no, it's not going to end soon. It's going to stay long with us. I mean, if we talk about the figures, the numbers of learners impacted by national school closures worldwide was 1.38 billion, which is 94% of the world's student population. So it had a very major impact. But what came out as a solution again is definitely the technology, the online learning. But yes, what is different? I mean, what we were using technology, but now this was a voice that teachers and learners probably may not have heard before, because now we are into a complete digital era. This was the time of transition from physical classrooms to digital learnings. And I believe, and I think, and I personally experienced that both the teachers fraternity and the students have beautifully adapted this change. We love to see, when in our online classes we see children, they come up, they tell their teachers, ma'am, okay, use this key to mute yourself, use this key to unmute yourself. So they have adapted, they are very friendly with the applications. And probably the reason being, yes, they are already into the technological world, they're already using technology, right? But I mean, there were certain impacts on this, on even in online learnings we have seen, the especially if we talk about the pre-primary levels, the parents are quite reluctant to send their children for online classes. I met a parent, who was of the view that, her child is too small, and she believed that, my child doesn't require these online learnings, because she feel that, that it is not good for the children to be given gadgets at such an early age. And moreover, she said that, they'll have a bad impact on their eyes, their health. And she said definitely the parents will have to accompany the children, which, yes, I agree with. But at the same time, I told her that this is the new normal. It's not only a different concept. Rather, I believe that, both the parents and teachers will have to, work hard to make children studying during this time. It's a time of, the teachers are really working hard, and they're, are content curators these days. I mean, we in our school see it is not easy to make children sit and make them learn, which they were doing in their physical classroom. So we do a lot of, we always uh, try with try to find out certain new teaching skill, I mean, effective and interesting way of teaching them. So we sometimes, we have to teach them a topic, so we have to find out an interesting, some audio visual, audios and videos will have to show them. Sometimes the teachers will have to come up, dress up like that, and they'll have to show the children. So this is something, the learnings we are trying our hard to make our content such interesting that, children should sit for longer hours, and they, try and grab it. And yes, we are finding it, the children are finding it little interesting, they are doing it, quite happily. I remember, and trust me, it is not an easy task, because yes, the children, they're not everyone is the same. We had a child in our class which was very cranky in the beginning. When it was the beginning of the session, he was not ready to sit, the parents were trying hard to make him sit. Then definitely our teachers, my teacher, she tried to mingled up with him, tried to tell him, okay, do this activity, coloring. She gave him certain coloring activities, and some, different, we tried to show him some audiovisual, some nice rhymes and some enacts and all, which definitely has helped her. And definitely the child was quickly, gradually adapting the, this thing. He was ready to sit in the class later on. So basically, the idea is, yes, this online classes, is a part. I mean, definitely we are now into the digital era, wherein we feel that, children are learning, and definitely they have adapted it. And even with this sudden shift away from the classroom in many part of the globe, it's not restricted to our country or a single country. Definitely, it is, all over the world. And even some are wondering whether the adoption of these online learning will continue to persist post pandemic, and how much a shift would impact the worldwide. So probably, we might go online further also in our education. So there are chances that, it will change for a longer period. But yes, as I would say that, with more power comes the more responsibility. We know that we have moved into a digital era, but what we need is, we need to move, we have to, this is a time of complete transition, and we have to move to a road of digital literacy. We have to make our child the digital citizen, right? So here, as an educator, we should make sure that, that we make our children, we should tell them the guidelines that they need to follow when they are online. They should learn the etiquettes they need to follow being online. So we have to make children gadget safe and gadget friendly. We should before handing over it to them, we should make sure that, there are certain guidelines that parents even need to follow, like how can we create a digital citizen. So when a child is in a school, or maybe at during their online classes, when we provide a personal device to the child, we should tell them that, we should make them understand, and we should make them aware that they should use it only and only for their educational purpose. And moreover, we should make sure that the gadget is safe and appropriate for the child. I mean, we have, child locks, child safe. We should make the gadget child safe before handing it over to the children. So definitely these days it should be a parent's responsibility to make sure that gadget is child safe. Moreover, they should understand, they should be made aware that they should not share their private information, be it their login informations, their passwords and everything. They should know that they are not allowed to share these information with anyone. And when we talk about the netiquettes, when they are attending their online classes, they should feel that, yes, they are into their classrooms. They cannot just, eat something. They just can, they just can't sit in the classroom without taking bath. So these are certain basic things that we need to tell children. They have to follow certain guidelines while sitting in their classroom. They should consider it as their regular school. They should use very nice proper language while talking to their peers or even their teachers. So these days, with these applications that we are using, be it Zoom, the Google Meet, or maybe Microsoft, we have, some we can create a room for 4 or 5 children where they can have a peer connection, because these days definitely the children miss the most is their peer connection. So definitely this thing, when they have when they are meeting with their peers also, they should understand that they should use proper languages, they should speak nicely with their peers. So these things we need to inculcate in our child. Being a school also, we should teach them that yes, these are the basic behavior that a child should follow. And definitely the cyberbullying, they should be made aware of this. If they feel that some adult is trying to be unkind or harmful to them, so we should tell them that yes, you can complain to your parents or your teacher if something wrong is happening to them. So definitely in this digital world, we need is a digital citizen. So here, I think now I would like to end my topic with, we have to stop thinking of technology in terms of nouns like PowerPoint, YouTube, or Twitter, and instead we should think it in terms of verb: presenting, sharing, and communicating. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. I think, yes, the evolution of technology has impacted, I think, every aspect of our lives, and you have covered so many major points, especially we all can relate after COVID 19. This pandemic has already taught us. And as you mentioned, that what if technology was missing? So I think it plays a very important role in our lives, from the way that we communicate with each other, and it has become an integral part of sustaining society. And
Definitely.
not only provides students with access to countless learning resources, but in learning process, and for all, it's for all. But somewhere still there is a little bit hesitation with parents who think that uh, they are not really comfortable with this.
What they need to understand is, definitely in this during this time, what is required is the cooperation from both the sides, from parents as well as from the teachers side, right? Because definitely we are not in our physical world. The children are at home, they have definitely they are still quarantined, so definitely the learnings they are taking is through online classes only. So definitely the parents have to understand, and they have to cooperate with us, right?
True, true, very true. So we need this balancing, and we often talk about higher education, where we prepare students for jobs. But what does it look like when we talk about these jobs down the line, 10 years or 20 years? I think that's where we have to think and prepare students, and we need to upgrade them with the skills that we
As I
offer them to.
mentioned in my topic, with the new some being introduced in classrooms, like as I said, robotics and these coding classes. Definitely,
Right,
the
right,
children given some I mean, at a very right age, they are being as in they're being told that yes, they can go ahead with these learnings at an early age.
right, right. So they need to level up their skill set several times, throughout their career and prepare themselves for future. So that's a wonderful thing, and we have got an opportunity. And I don't know if we should not really thank, but yes, this pandemic has taught us how we
Lots,
have to upgrade.
lots of things, definitely lots.
Right, right. And we can see a comment from Ms. Geeti Jain. A visual treat to watch you with live with such magnificent content. Thank you so much, Deepti, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you.
And a big thanks to you, Rakhi, ma'am, for giving us your time and joining us on this platform.
Thanks, Preena. It was a really wonderful treat for me as well to come online and to give my views to the people. Thank you
Pleasure is
so
all
much.
ours, ma'am. Thanks to you on behalf of Team Getty. And thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, for joining us. If you have any questions, you can post it in the comment section. And we'll be back soon with another such informative session. Till then, take care, everyone. Enjoy your new year. Bye bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Bye.